House of Representatives, there are 257 who are Democrats. Only 177 are Republicans. In the Senate, there are 67 Democrats. Only 33 are Republicans. The party that you back controls 2/3 of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and still they can't keep their promise to you, because you're a chump. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race.
Hey, what's happening, family? It's your man, Mark Black. You know what time it is. Welcome to Sucka-Free Saturday. I am glad to be here again with all of you. We've got a pretty interesting subject to talk about today, one of which is kind of near and dear to my heart and actually very much apropos to what we've currently been seeing go on. But before we get into it, I just want to say that for those of you who've been noticing lately, I've been having some technical difficulties when I try to take calls. And rather than affect the quality of the broadcast by having it crashing and all sorts of other things, for now, while I find an alternative source of being able to provide you guys with the ability to call in and contribute, we're not going to be taking call-ins today, right? And I apologize if there are, some of you who wanted to call in and maybe comment, but please, I will be paying attention to the chat as per always. And if there's something, extra exceptional that you want me to touch on or something you really feel needs to be said, those of you who are regular watchers of my broadcast know that when you do something via Super Chat, it actually reads out to the family. So I see it, you see it, and then I can address it. So without further ado, let's get into the greetings, because I do want to get into this topic today. First of all, greetings to Brother Michael Brown. Peace and blessings to you, fam. Darker Visions, greeting to you, fam. I see you. Namaste, Brother John. I see you. Brother LaBestia, peace, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. Adric is definitely in the house. Miss Denny, the inestimable, beloved Miss Denny is in the house. The cool man. I see you, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. Brother Barrington is in the house. Fam, our rules here as Angry Black Sheep are you don't have to participate in the chat, but if you're here, knock on the door and let us know you're here so we can shout you out and show you some love, all right? So the topic that I want to talk about today is the weaponizing of humanity, of our humanity. Now, before I get into what that actually means, let us address, shall we say, the elephant in the room. Unless you've been living under a rock. By the way, shout out to Dark Child. I see you, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. Unless you've been living under a rock the last few days, you all know that Imperator Trump, first of his name, the Tangerine King, the orange one, and his missus have both tested positive for the coronavirus and now have COVID-19 disease. Now, let me assure you, fam, that if you're shocked by the fact that the President of the United States has now been infected with the coronavirus and has COVID-19 disease, I truly don't know what world you've been living in, right? with all of these events and rallies that this man has put on, hundreds of people, hundreds of thousands of people of which weren't wearing masks in enclosed spaces, and all the things that the public health apparatus has told us increases the likelihood of the transmission of SARS-CoV-2, right? Like, I really don't know what to tell you. If you are blown away by the fact that the President of the United States is infected with the coronavirus, you got bigger problems than Brother Black can help you with. Now, I want to say this. By the way, shout out to my beloved sister Alma. Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to Sucka-Free Saturday. I want to say this. There have been people who ask me personally, like, what do you think about the president being infected with the coronavirus, right? Suffering from COVID-19. And I've told these people, I don't give a fuck. If he dies, he dies. Fam, I want to give an extra special shout out and some extra black sheep love to our beloved sister, Kimberly Richardson, who recently lost a family member due to this horrible disease. And sister, my heart is with you. I wanted you to see my face. My heart is with you. My condolences are yours. I'm sorry about the loss of your family member, our tribesman. May he rest well with our ancestors. I wanted you to hear it from my voice because you saw my tweet, but I was hoping you'd show up because I wanted to give you that extra special love in your time of loss and to let you know that that my family, we thinking of you. We are sorry again about the loss of your family member. And it really ties into the topic we're going to talk about today. Because if there's anybody in this country, fam, that we can point to that is directly responsible for the horrid loss of life that we have seen under the auspices of Miss Rona, that one person would be Donald John Trump. Now, upon the announcement that Donald Trump and Melania Trump would be going into isolation, not quarantine. Quarantine is what these motherfuckers should have been doing to avoid getting it in the first place. But upon the announcement that the President of the United States, POTUS and FLOTUS, would be going into isolation due to their infection with the coronavirus and suffering from COVID-19 disease, there were many of you who celebrated, who said, karma's a bitch, but I think I love her. Who clapped in recognition of the fact that it appears that fate is not without a sense of irony. That's right. Many of you, upon hearing about the President of the United States, the man who was recorded multiple times as saying that he's playing down what he knows to be a deadly pandemic, who told us back in March that like a miracle, it just one day disappeared, who had everybody on the edge of their seats when the whole nation was under stay-at-home orders, talking about reopening the whole country as an Easter surprise. Remember that shit? You know, The same asshole who had the nerve to tell us that, oh, well, the hot summer months are coming. And, you know, COVID doesn't do real well in the heat. And so it's going to make the transmission rates go down. And then we watched as the whole Sun Belt, Mississippi, Georgia, Louisiana, Texas, Arizona, California get swamped with coronavirus infections and disease. You know, that same motherfucker is now facing the thing that he allowed 210 plus thousand Americans to lose their lives from. And I say fucking good. I personally cannot see or think of a better human being that deserves a coronavirus infection than Donald John Trump. I can't think of a person but now, isn't it interesting that all these people who sat up here and told us that Trump's a monster, he's going to be the cause of the extinguishing of our democratic republic, he's the bane of American existence, are now wishing thoughts and prayers. Shout out to my brother Black Man 903. Shout out to my beloved sister Miss Kawami and my beloved sister Strong Flower. Welcome to Sucka-Free Saturday, fam. Welcome. Yeah, fam. These same liberals who told us black folk that we have to get Donald Trump out of office. It's of paramount importance for the good of the republic. Those same bastards are now praying that this son of a bitch lives. And having the nerve to tell us that if we hope that Corona visits upon Donald J. Trump et alia, the same fate that through his inaction, through his ineptitude, through his lack of caring, through his lack of anything resembling humanity, allowed millions of Americans to be infected with and hundreds of thousands of Americans to die from, have the nerve to tell us that we're being inhuman? Fam, I'm here to tell you that this has been a long-standing problem when it comes to us. A long-standing problem. Because you see, family, America historically has weaponized our humanity. Brother Elder Richard is in the house. Welcome, fam, to the broadcast. We see you. Unsunken One, peace to you, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. I don't even know what to say to that, Chris V. Because I happen to be privy to some more shit that maybe you might not be. Like the night that the announcement came out on Twitter, I actually saw both on the East Coast and the West Coast the Doomsday Jet scramble. You're not familiar with that because you don't keep up with this sort of shit. What are the Doomsday Jets? Well, it's simple. The Doomsday Jets are planes that are able to communicate with our nuclear submarines. So in case of an attack on the United States during the incapacitation of the president, they can still issue the orders to launch all of our nuclear missiles in an instant. And they only fly in very, very drastic circumstances. I didn't have to believe what came out of the White House. All I had to do was watch the military go on high alert. So you can believe that his coronavirus infection is fake news if you like. I'm not going to shit on you for it, but I'll say this. You perhaps may not be aware of all of the various circumstances that would lead one to understand that this idea that Trump is somehow faking it is complete and utter bullshit. By the way, shout out to Marjorie. Welcome to the broadcast, fam. I see you. No, this isn't fake news. And he's not even the only one. What did we learn in the days subsequent? That 11 people who were involved in helping pull off the first debate are now testing positive for coronavirus, including Chris Christie, the former governor of New Jersey, who was helping Trump with debate prep. Kellyanne Conway now is tested positive for the coronavirus. 3 senators in the Senate are now tested positive for the coronavirus. You can believe all that shit is fake news if you like, but Occam's razor tells us that the more simple explanation in this matter is that they truly have been infected with the coronavirus and are now suffering from COVID-19 disease. I'm not really one for conspiracy theory bullshit, in case you were wondering. But fam, them being sick is not the fucking point. That's not even the point of today's broadcast, fam. The point of today's broadcast is to talk about something that America has consistently done that hurts us. America has weaponized our humanity. As a social species, fam, humans have some pretty solid traits that tend toward binding us with other human beings. And of course, if you look at our development, it makes perfect sense why we'd have these traits. First of all, we as a species have one of the longest infancies and childhoods of any other species on the planet Earth. Because it literally takes decades to turn little human beings into fully adult and mature big human beings. Our babies are born completely fucking helpless. And their brains don't even really start kicking into high gear to really understand their environment until at least about 6 months old. So without our extreme sociability, our extreme socialness, we wouldn't even be able to survive as a species. But there are people amongst us who play our humanity. They play the weaknesses of our humanity. I'll give you a case in point. I have not known anybody personally as of yet who has passed away from the coronavirus. And thank goodness for that. However, I have tribespeople of ours that I'm connected to all across the country. Stories of entire families losing multiple family members to this shit. When I first heard about the coronavirus, family, as my angry black sheep herd well knows, I became an amateur virologist and epidemiologist, reading papers on the transmissibility of the virus, on its virulence, on the R naught factor, and all this other shit that I didn't know about even 6 months ago. I saw how COVID kills, reading about the cytokine storm and acute respiratory distress syndrome, and how this shit causes blood clots. How after months after a person supposedly recovered from the illness, they have neurological and cognitive issues. They have damage to their heart, to their lungs, and other organs. COVID is a bitch. The crazy part, though, is, fam, is that the people that were in power knew this already. There's a lot of stuff that we know now about COVID that we've been knowing actually for months and have been told, nah, not that big a deal. It's just kind of like a flu. COVID is a bear. Even after you supposedly recover from COVID, you have permanent damage to major organ systems. We don't know what the long-term effects of that damage to those organ systems will be. If I told you that Bill Gates was a part of a conspiracy to allow a virus to infect the whole globe, killing millions of folk, I wouldn't hear a squawk out of any of you. If I said that today, people would be like, shit, Mark Black finally woke the fuck up. We've been saying that. Even though it's complete bullshit. But now, Donald Trump, the President of the United States, just did the equivalent of what you accuse people like Bill Gates and other shit of. But we're supposed to send thoughts and prayers his way. We're supposed to hope for a speedy recovery for Donald Trump and for Melania Trump and for all the rest of these bastards. Shout out to my sister Sherry. Long time no see, fam. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm here to tell you that your humanity is being weaponized against you. Your natural sense of empathy, right? I can offer my condolences to my tribeswoman, Kimberly, for the loss of her family member, because although I have not myself had a family member lost to this horrible virus, I literally can put myself in my sister's place and feel her pain as if it was my own. That is what empathy is, fam. Empathy is literally the sharing, the feeling of each other's pain. But how often has your empathy been used to bind you to open fucking enemies of yours? To people that, if the tables were turned, would be wishing nothing but your doom and demise and destruction. Peace, Noel. Welcome to the broadcast, fam. How many of us forgot conveniently that at this goddamn debate, this possible super spreader event that Trump and Biden were a part of, that Trump basically gave carte blanche to regular citizens to just start killing up folk? That night, fam, when he said that bullshit, if somebody had just walked up on Donald Trump and put one in his forehead, all of yous would have been like, well, I guess he's the first casualty of the same shit he wished on everybody else. But the so-called opposition in this country, right? You know, these motherfucking liberals are sitting here telling us that we're grotesque, horrid people. If after hearing about the infection of this bastard and parts of his family and people that supported the fuckery that he's been on, that if we wish they were dead, that we're horrible humans, we're inhumane. No, you are not inhumane for wishing your fucking enemies meet their demise, and that right soon. Why in the hell should you feel in any way sorry for Donald J. Trump? Like, seriously, fam, let's ask that question legitimately. Why should you, the descendants of the enslaved here in the United States of America, specifically, have any care, concern, warm hearts for, thoughts and prayers for someone who has essentially been an open enemy of ours pretty much ever since you ever heard about him? Now, am I sitting here saying that Donald Trump has egregiously gone out of his way necessarily to hurt black people? No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that when we get hurt, he ain't standing up there on the front lines to necessarily protect us. When there's shit that he could be doing to help us, he don't do it. And he's complicit in what I consider a mass murder of Americans. We've lost more Americans to COVID-19 than we lost on 9/11, in Vietnam, Grenada, the Balkans, Iraq, Afghanistan, World War II. Like, we've lost more Americans in just 6 months than we've lost in every military conflict we've had since World War II. And this son of a bitch is directly responsible for that. He had his hands on the keys, on the levers of power. We were ready for a president. Fuck a D, fuck a R. We were ready for a president who said, this is what we know. This is what we don't know. This is what we're doing. We are Americans. We will prevail. Instead, what we got is a do nothing, know nothing, fucking lousy, mental midget miscreant. Who sits there and spouts inanities about herd mentality and makes failed prediction upon failed prediction about how quickly the shit's gonna go away. It went from, oh, it's gonna go away in a couple of weeks. We just have these few cases. Pretty soon it's gonna go down to zero. To, oh, like around Easter, it's gonna be an Easter surprise. Wouldn't it be beautiful, like a gift from heaven, if we could just open up the country back on Easter because the COVID will be gone? To now sitting there in June saying, well, I'm right because the disease eventually is going to go away at some point. Man, if y'all don't get the fuck out of here with thoughts and prayers for a son of a bitch who would put you and yours, who has put you and yours in that position. I don't have the capability to demand the country ramps up protective equipment, PPE for everybody. I don't have the capability of demanding that people in public places with an aerosolized virus that we know transmits via the air. They told us this shit about fomites and, wash your hands and all this stuff because of the surfaces you might touch. No, fam, we've been knowing since March that COVID is airborne. How else do you explain its extreme virulence? I don't have the capability to demand that people fucking not gather in large groups, to stay indoors at their homes if they have to and only come out for essentials. But he did. And while sitting here playing politics, talking about the Chinese virus or the CCP virus and this, that, and the third, Corona didn't give a fuck what ethnicity you were. SARS-CoV-2 does not care if you are white, black, Asian, Latino, anything. You're talking about borders and political systems and running game on the American people. Meanwhile, the virus doesn't give a shit. And then when the governors themselves of the nation finally said, you know what? Okay, we're not getting anything resembling leadership from DC, so we're gonna have to just do this shit ourselves, and started shutting down the whole motherfucking nation. It put a whole bunch of people out of work. It put a whole bunch of people's businesses in jeopardy. And what did America decide to do for us? They gave some of us $1,200. Trump could have threatened a revolt of the entire nation against Congress if they didn't take care of the people. Instead, he signed a bill that gave the largest wealth transfer ever in the history of the United States to him and his cronies and his buddies on Wall Street. If Corona takes him, that motherfucker deserves to die more than anybody else I've seen infected with this shit. You goddamn right I said it. And I mean it. I can't imagine a person. I can't imagine the height of poetic justice to hear that coronavirus took Donald J. Trump drowning in his own fucking fluids. Would make me happier than shit. Fam, I told my mother-in-law, I said, if Corona takes Trump, that Saturday I'm going to be in confession, and that next Sunday I'm going to be in church. Because that would be damn nearly enough proof of the existence of a God that I'd fucking say, screw this atheist shit. I'd be the first one in church on the Sunday after that motherfucker's dead and cold. Because you see, family, I hate to be the one to tell you, but your humanity isn't just your empathy. It isn't just your willingness to forgive and seal the breaches. It is also human to want vengeance when someone has wronged you. That's just as human as any empathetic impulse you could possibly have. But guess what? They want to weaponize our empathy, our humanity to their benefit. But they don't want you to weaponize your humanity to your benefit. They don't want you to look at what you are as a human being and say, you know what? I'm perfectly justified in wanting that motherfucker to be dead. I'm perfectly justified in helping them shuffle off the mortal coil if I can do it. They don't want. They tell you that's inhumane. The police come out into the streets and they shoot us down with impunity. They kick in our fucking doors. We could be sitting there on our sofas eating ice cream or playing games with our niece and nephew or sleeping, and they murder us in our beds. And they have the nerve to tell us that the only acceptable route to address that has to be non-violently. Why? Violence was visited upon me and mine. Violence should be visited upon them. Where's the inhumanity in that? That smacks strangely of some degree of justice. They pray This country preys upon the fact that we as a people tend to be forgiving. We've been acculturated, and many of us hold religious beliefs that tell us that, hey, when somebody does you a wrong, it does no good to continue to harbor that poison in your heart. Why not? I haven't even done any wrong to these suburbanite white bitches that live in the neighborhoods right across the way from me, but because I'm poor and might want to actually have a decent standard of living, they want to use the machinery of the state, the cops, they own guns, they sons, and every damn thing under the sun to make sure that I'm nowhere near them. And they have no shame. They have no shame. They don't sit there and debate the morality of keeping an already abused, neglected, denigrated, broke people on the bottom. They have no problem with you looking at them and going, oh, those poor white folks, they just don't understand. We just need to educate them about the reality of our experience. They weaponize even our hearts, even our humanity, our sense of fair play, our desire to put ourselves in the position of anyone else who might perceive or experience an injustice and start to fight for them. And I'm sick of it. I'm here as your brother and one who loves you today to tell you one simple truth. You are both angel and devil. You are human. That is essentially what it means to be a human being, fam. You are capable in an instant of some of the most unimaginably beautiful, righteous, good, altruistic, compassionate, soulful things. But fam, you are also capable of some of the most darkest, heinous evils humankind has ever heard of. You are an admixture. That's what makes us human. Why are you human when all you do is forgive, when all you do is wish even your enemies well? Why are you human then? But when you finally get tired, when you realize the con game that's been ran on you, when you realize that you done got fucked over 3 ways to Sunday, and you've watched member after member after member after member of your tribe die for no fucking reason, and you say, you know what? Anybody that supports that, I wish they were fucking dead. I wish I could kill them my goddamn self. Why are you then less human when you feel like that? When you express that? Why is your humanity only extant when you're a fucking angel, but when they've brought out the motherfucking beast in you, you're not allowed to ride that. You're not allowed to accept that. This country is designed to bring out the monster in everybody, except for us. Let me share with you a little story, if I may. And I want to thank all of you. Please, fam, hit the thumbs. I don't care if it's the like or the hater button. Hit the thumbs. Share this shit on your social media. Fam, one day, a monkey was scampering around the forest floor, and it found a really big, beautiful piece of fruit, right? You know, monkeys love their fruits. And so this monkey picked up this fruit and started to take a bite. Meanwhile, the alpha monkey Thank you, Sister Sherry. I appreciate the love. Alpha Monkey came over and he pummeled that fucking monkey to the ground and took his piece of fruit. The poor monkey scampered off, battered, bruised up, fruitless. And he sees another monkey sitting over on a branch, eating a piece of fruit. So he goes over and he gives that little monkey an even worse beating than the one he took, and takes the little monkey's fruit. Fam, we the littlest monkey. They say that to participate in violence only creates the cycle of violence, that violence begets violence. And I would agree that that's a truth, except if you're the littlest monkey. The cycle always somehow or another ends with you. You ain't figured this shit out by now, my beautiful, beloved black people, my tribesmen, my brothers and sisters. You haven't figured this out by now? That in this big fucking jungle known as America, we're the smallest monkey. Everybody gets to come and take our fruit, smack us the fuck around. And you know what we're supposed to do? We're supposed to eat that. We're supposed to swallow that. Shout out to Unapologetically Black, Big Unk, and Engaging Black. What's good, fam? Welcome to the broadcast. So, are you, as the smallest monkey, the one who can't displace your anger onto anybody else, who got nowhere for your pain and suffering to go, are you going to continue to just eat that? Your humanity isn't just the angel side. Your humanity, fam, isn't just you acting like saints. Because let me describe a truth to you, fam. Saints are fucking made, not born. Saints are made. Thank you, Engaging Black. I appreciate you, fam.
Just showing love.
There are no saints among us who started off that way. People become saints through a process of discipline and the embodiment of godliness within themselves, so that when you see the saints, there's literally no difference between experiencing God and experiencing them. Saints become saints through effort, through work. All the rest of us are still that same amalgam that we was born as. One moment, the darkness. One moment, the light. But they want you, the smallest monkey, to only focus on the light. Never mind your pain. Never mind your awareness of injustice. You're supposed to eat that. Shout out to all the saints, Easy Be Easy's mentioned into the chat, by the way. Our brothers who gone before us and sisters that gone before us to show us the way. Fam, I'm here to tell you, as your brother and one who loves you, the only person that has the right to weaponize your humanity is you. And trust me when I tell you, you don't have to wait on God to get you vengeance. Vengeance is yours. You don't have to sit here and pray for a motherfucker who would love to see you and yours simply disappear off the face of the earth. If they had Thanos' infinity gauntlet, they would snap it. If they could snap it, and you and yours would simply disappear with the minimum of effort, no muss, no fuss, your black ass would be gone. But you're supposed to pray for that. You're supposed to pray for the health and the wealth and the strength of that son of a bitch. Make that shit make sense. What God you worship? What saints you follow? That would tell you that you need to give up your whole humanity just to please bastards who aren't even worth your humanity. They're not even worth your empathy. They don't even think about the shit the same way you do. Think about this, fam. You look at the coronavirus epidemic and you understand what a tragedy it is. Because you understand that even the death of one individual is an immeasurable loss. But you make the mistake of assuming that these bastards think about this shit the same way as you. Joseph Stalin was reputed to have said that the death of a person, of an individual, is a tragedy. The death of 1 million individuals is a statistic. Did you understand what I just said, fam? The death of one person is a tragedy. But when the numbers start getting up into the hundreds of thousands, your fellow Americans stop giving a fuck. It's just numbers to them at that point. My sister's cousin, who has passed off from coronavirus, is just a number to them. It stopped being something that America gave a fuck about a long time ago.
Gleek should have split Zen and Jainism and different heads.
I'm not certain about the reference, Unsunken One, but I'm glad you got a chance to mention it, fam. Your humanity is your greatest source of strength and also your greatest weakness. And our job as individuals, as families, as communities, and ultimately as a tribe is to weaponize. I got you, fam. Okay, I got you. Is to weaponize our humanity to our benefit. And I can tell you right now, as long as you sit here and you pray good wishes of speedy recovery for motherfuckers like Donald Trump, you're no good to us. You've been weaponized against us. Donald Trump will rise up from that hospital bed, come what may, and go right back to work at making sure that you stay and I stay the smallest monkeys. And he won't see shit. He won't see anything wrong with it. Not at all. He won't see anything wrong with you staying on the bottom. And if you get to be too much of a nuisance, he'll just send in the National Guard or whoever else he can get to come and hurt us. Because you forget, this is the same motherfucker that did that. That gassed innocent people just for a fucking photo op. The dude's a sociopath. He got no fucking empathy for you. Why would you pray for him? Why would you pray for him? I'm never going to pray for a fucking devil. I want to see the devils either come under subjugation or I want to see them get their due. That's the only goddamn thing I care about when it comes to monsters. I don't go into the labyrinth, fam, and pray for the motherfucking, the goddamn, the Taurus-headed, creature at the end of the motherfucking labyrinth. I go in there to slay monsters. I'm not sending thoughts and prayers to the Cyclops. Stop allowing these idiots to take the best of you and put it into service for them to turn you into the worst of you. To my people out there who practice hoodoo, you got your dolls, your juju dolls. I want to see needles sticking out of all of them motherfuckers that are the president and everybody else. I don't care what you believe in. Your prayers tonight should be to a swift end to injustice. If you can't bring it to you, if you can't, due to your fucking religious, enculturation, can't pray for the actual demise of this motherfucker, then pray for a swift end to injustice. Because if there's any type of God in charge of this motherfucker, may he end and cut off the heads of all these bastards. Kupite Bulikai, like, cut off all their fucking heads. I'm not gonna sit up here and pray and hope for the best for somebody who would never do it for me. That doesn't make me good. That makes me an enabler of injustice. That doesn't make me righteous to wish that Donald Trump has a speedy recovery. At best, it makes me a damn fool. And at worst, it makes me an enabler of all the evil that we know this man is capable of. The fuck I look like? I don't enable evil where I can avoid it. This is an easy choice. Pray for the president, send him thoughts and prayers for a speedy recovery, or hope the motherfucker ends up in a box. How is this a hard choice for any of you to make? Explain this one to me. Like, set your religion aside, set your fears aside, set your acculturation bullshit aside. If Donald Trump came into your household and slapped the dog shit out your mama, kicked your dog, punched your kid in the face, and dragged you out to the front yard by your balls and took a baseball bat to you, what wouldn't you want to see done to him? What bad, horrible thing you wouldn't want that motherfucker to experience? But Trump's done everything but that. He's had the ability, the power of life and death over you now for almost 4 years. And almost every time he's exercised it, no, take that back. Mostly it's been due to him not exercising it. He's done the same fucking equivalent. He's done the equivalent of coming up in your house, slapping your mama, punching your baby in the face, kicking your goddamn dog, and dragging you out in the front yard and beating you with a bat. But I'm supposed to wish best wishes and a speedy recovery. Man, please. This man put my whole fucking tribe at risk. He's done nothing to ensure that we have any capability to be able to fight the worst global fucking pandemic that we faced in 100 years. And my people are dying like fucking flies. If I have a prayer in me, my prayer is one thing. I pray that this motherfucker goes more sooner than later. And if it means that all the rest of his people gotta go with him, I say good fucking riddance. Because I'm no less human to desire that. I will not have my people's sense of empathy, of compassion, continually fucking abused to their detriment. It doesn't ever benefit us, fam, to be the big, okay, pause. You know, when Michelle Obama comes out and she says shit like, when they go low, we go high. Do you understand just what kind of mind fuckery that is? Have you woken up yet to this idea that we somehow have to be better humans than everybody else just to be treated as human? Haven't you figured out yet the game that represents to us emotionally, mentally, psychologically? Seriously, fam, I really would like to know if it's finally starting to twig for any of you. When they go low, we go high. I need you to understand what that really is saying. It's telling you to ignore those parts of your humanity that says when a snake in the grass slithers up next to you, that you stomp its fucking head. When they go low, I don't have no problem going even lower than them. No problem. No problem at all. America want to play limbo with me? Then limbo like me, motherfucker. Let's do this. When you go low, I go lower. You know why? Because I don't have to listen to America tell me shit about where I need to go. The only people I need to listen to, the only explanations that I need to analyze my experience as the descendants of the enslaved in this country are those of my people. And my people, my brother Frederick Douglass specifically said, and I quote, he said, find out what injustices that a people will quietly submit to, and you will know the limits of the injustices visited upon them. And those injustices will continue until countered with either words or blows or both. I don't owe America a fucking thing when it comes to Donald Trump. All of those sons of bitches can get sick with the Rona and die, and it will do nothing but make me fucking happy. Because if my entire fucking people disappeared tomorrow from the coronavirus, America would throw a goddamn party. I don't owe you shit. When they go low, I go lower. And nobody can limbo like me. I don't do pole vaulting, I do limbo. I'm not trying to take the fucking high road. Why? So I can be way up there in the mountains where the air is thin and I'm struggling to breathe. No, I want to stay right down here on the beach where I can put my motherfucking foot right in your slithering ass. My ancestor told us, our ancestors told us that the limits of the pain that we will face will be directly dictated by what we accept from America. With what we forgive and just allow to happen. Oh, them white folks is talking about killing us. What are we gonna do? Talk about killing them? Why? Because they defeat us when they go to where we won't go. Haven't y'all figured that out by now? Listen, I'm not talking about politics. I'm not talking about anything high flung. I'm not talking about economics. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the law. I'm talking about your fucking humanity. Haven't you figured out by now that one of the ways they continue to defeat us is they are willing to do what we are not? We sit here and say, oh, well, you know, that's when white folks do this and them white folks do that. Well, why won't you? It doesn't make you white to meet your enemies where the fuck they want to. If they want that smoke, you give it to them. There's no place that they should be willing to go where you're not willing to meet them. And it don't have to be all these goddamn long drawn out discussions about the ethics of it and the morality. Well, you know, violence begets violence, Brother Blackie. You can't tear down the master's house using the master's tools. Why not? If those tools that the master got was able to put that house up, those same tools will work just as well for me to tear it down. Family, please, moving forward, stop allowing the best parts of you to be put into service of people who don't deserve the best parts of you. This country has never done anything to warrant our forgiveness individually, familial, based in families, communities, or as a collective, as a tribe. They have not gone through the process of forgiveness. And the process of forgiveness is simple, family. First, there's an understanding and an acknowledgement of a wrong having been done. And then there's remorse. Damn, fam, I said some really fucked up shit to you, fam. Acknowledgement. I'm really sorry for that. Remorse. In the future, fam, to make sure I don't say that shit to you, I'm gonna make sure I take a deep breath and I'm gonna ask you for clarity before I assume that what you said to me was an attack on me. Repentance. Repentance means to turn the fuck away. Only after you've acknowledged the wrong done, you announced or made a show of some sort of remorse, and only with an agreement to repent and turn away so that you don't commit the wrong again, only then is forgiveness warranted. And America has done none of that. You owe them nothing. If Donald Trump dies, good. If Chris Christie dies, good. If Kellyanne Conway dies, good. If Ivanka dies, good. That's balancing the goddamn scales. I don't sit here and fucking, cry when somebody gets their just desserts. I rejoice. When my enemies go through it, when they struggling, when them motherfuckers can't figure out which way to go, that shit pleases me. And guess what? That is just as human as any other thing that I can express. But guess what? That is my humanity benefiting me. That's my humanity benefiting my people, my family, my tribe. Forgiveness my fucking ass. I got nothing, because they got nothing. Americans on the daily spend entire 24-hour news cycles trying to justify the fuckery they do to us, so there's no acknowledgement. Remorse would assume that most of these motherfuckers are even capable of feeling it. Sorry, but that's assuming facts, not in evidence. And there has been no collective push towards anything resembling repentance, actually turning away from the actions, systems, institutions, methodologies, ideas, religions that fostered the fuckery that they continue to commit upon us on a daily basis. So where the hell is the forgiveness coming from? Matter of fact, I would argue that even if you're a religious person, to forgive someone where it's not warranted isn't justice, it's a sin. It's a crime against your humanity and my humanity to demand that we be angels just to be treated like people. Two cops get shot in California. I don't give a fuck. Die. Because if two of my people got shot by two cops in California, them motherfuckers would spend the whole rest of the goddamn news cycle wondering whether or not we got bad grades in kindergarten, we ever call our mama a bitch, we kicked the dog, we went to jail for stealing some fucking Pop-Tarts from the store, and they would use all of every wrong we've ever committed to justify the wrong that was done to us. Fuck them cops. I don't give a fuck. And guess what? That makes me just as human as anybody else. I want you from now on, fam, to think about this. I want you to be just as human to everyone else as they've been human to you. I know it's a crazy concept. Right? So let me elaborate slightly just so you understand where I'm coming from. I want you to elevate or go down low to the extent that everyone else has done to you. When they go low, you go lower. And when they elevate, you elevate. That's balance. That's balance. I mean, they got you fucked up behind a mind bag. Fucked up behind a trick bag, a mind fuck. You think justice has on a blindfold so that she can be equal? No. Justice got on a blindfold in America so she can't look at niggas and feel anything. She don't care if the scales is balanced or not. Because justice standing up there in them courtrooms and them courthouses is a white bitch too. The only justice you gonna have, my brothers and sisters, is the justice that you build, that you produce, that you create. And you can't create justice for yourself when you're allowing the best of what you are as a human being to be put in service to the worst of human beings you've ever ran across. Justice can't be born in that environment. Justice can't be born in that environment. Let that white bitch with the scales and the blindfold stay where the fuck she at. We never needed her ass anyway. She ain't blind. She know niggas exist. But she blindfolds herself so that she don't have to see what's happening to her, so she don't feel some kind of way. So she's not obligated to actually do anything to benefit us, but stand there and hold that fucking scale. Fuck that bitch. The justice I recognize will be the justice who's not standing there with a fucking scale in her hand and her eyes closed off, not willfully experiencing, in my experiences, seeing the history that my people of my lineage and my heritage have faced. No, justice will be standing there beside me with a sword. My black justice is gonna be standing there with her eyes wide open to see every motherfucking thing that I face, everything that my ancestors face, and she's gonna be on Team Black. GG, peace, sister. Welcome to the broadcast. I see you, fam. Exactly, black man. If you blindfold, you can't see. What good a blindfolded justice is for me? I need that bitch to see every goddamn thing that's been going on. Fam, don't let them continue to weaponize your humanity against you to their benefit and to your detriment. It's human for you to sit there and look at Donald Trump laying up in a hospital bed and imagine what it's like for that son of a bitch to go out only the way COVID can do it, and think with little happy thoughts in your heart. Man, love to see it. Ain't nothing wrong with you. Ain't nothing inhumane about you feeling like that. Because when the tables is turned and they ask him, they ask Donald Trump. Thank you, Sister Gigi. I appreciate you.
#ADOS Detroit is here for #ADO Justice.
That's right.
Scales.
Justice for the descendants of the enslaved here in the United States. Justice for us or justice for nobody. Fam, I've been trying to tell you for all this time that the movement towards reparations, towards real justice for our people, is the only way America gets justice. This is the only way that America gives birth to freedom. You either do justice for us or justice for nobody. We're either made free and whole or nobody will be free and whole. No more of this shit where everybody else gets a fucking hall pass to be the monsters of our imagination. And we have to be America's angels. Fuck that. No. We have come to say that justice is the order of the day. The debt's due and continuing to climb. And until you pay and do justice by us, until you give freedom to us, until we have peace, nobody has it. Ten-year-old girls at the shooting range. I love it. I love it. Fam, you hear about them sick motherfuckers that let a goddamn police dog maul one of our brothers to death? Got the shit on fucking video talking about they won't put it out because it's incendiary. Yeah, you're goddamn right, it's incendiary. Because woe betide America that one day we might wake up and say, you know what? It's just as human for me to want to fuck these bastards up as it is for me to pray for them. And I'm all fresh the fuck out of prayers. That's what they're afraid of, fam. That one day, all you gonna have left is stiff dick and bubble gum. Oh, wait, yeah, and you run out of bubble gum. We're fresh out of bubble gum, fam. Justice for us first. Or justice for nobody. That's the way it has to be. That's the only way it was ever going to be. Our fights on the political sphere, on the economic sphere, on the legal sphere, in the education system, in all of the other areas of human activity, all of those are just our way of telling America that the clock is fucking ticking. And your continuing failure to acknowledge the wrong done to the children of the enslaved. Thank you, Engaging Black.
Is Trump thinking, thought bubble, of Herman Cain?
I bet. Herman Cain's like, come on, baby. You know what I'm saying? He's on his Rick James shit. Give it to me, baby. Come on. Right? Seriously. Trump wasn't even at Herman Cain's funeral. Ain't that a bitch? Fam, fam, I couldn't give a fuck about Donald Trump dying from coronavirus. Not a single solitary fuck. They told us we was cold as ice because we cheered on the demise of fucking King Face. Why? Why am I so bad? Because King Face sat here and shat on my people at every goddamn turn he could possibly get, only to get a fucking bag from rich conservative white folks. And now he dead. Good fucking riddance. Like, seriously. I don't give a fuck about these motherfuckers. Cause when the tables are turned and shit is happening to us, they're not sitting there feeling some sort of way about us. When we die in droves, what America worries about is, man, I hope my 401k is doing all right. Yeah, King Face is gone face. He's dead face at this point. I don't give a fuck. You know what, fam? I want us to stop with the hypocrisy too. Because you know that for all the shit I've said over the last hour or so, this ain't really new to none of you. Because you normally act this way. If it's niggas. Right? If it's us, you have no problem with expressing your desire for vengeance, to see us fucked up. Like if I do something ill to you, fam, I'll never live it down. If I say something bad about you, right, have a disagreement with you, you know, maybe we have words or whatever the case may be, I'm an enemy for life. Like there's no grace there for me. We can have a debate about something. And I say, well, fam, you know, I think that, you know, based off of my evidence, I think we should do this. And you be like, oh, I think we should do that. That makes us mortal enemies. According to a lot of people that I've been watching recently in my timeline, the fact that some of us have different methods of advocacy, different methods of putting out the message, we all aimed in the same damn direction, the same target. But we differ slightly on some of this shit. We might use different verbiage. We can find 1,000 ways to be wishing ill on another black person, on one of our tribe's people. Hell, we have people that have eternal enemies because somebody stepped on their fucking kicks. So what I'm saying to you, fam, isn't new. I'm saying let your humanity guide you in all interactions, in all things. That's it. I'm not asking you to be fucking angels. I'm not telling you to do something you ain't already been doing. I'm saying be consistent. Don't just run and displace your anger and punch down on other small monkeys. You punching me because we have a difference ain't gonna change shit about your reality. It's not gonna fix anything that's broken for you. But if you can get out your fucking ego and get past the narcissism of small differences, guess what? Maybe you might be a small monkey and I'm a small monkey, but you get all of the small monkeys of the tribe together and we could go up there and kick that alpha monkey's fucking ass. And then there's enough fruit for everybody. Stop displacing your fucking righteous anger, your righteous desire for justice. Stop displacing that on little monkeys that can't do shit. They can't do shit against you. We run right to the next smallest monkey and be like, nigga, fuck you. How does that elevate either one of us? That little small monkey that has slightly different colored fur than you or likes the mango as opposed to the papaya don't mean shit. There's small differences. But we'll throw each other smooth the fuck under the bus for the littlest shit like that, instead of us getting together with other small monkeys and getting our collective weight up so we could go up there and slap the shit out of that alpha monkey and say, guess what? You ain't stealing nobody else's fruit, motherfucker. So I'm not asking you, fam. None of what I said during this broadcast is new. None of what I said during this broadcast is any new, any different than how you've been operating. I'm just asking you as your brother and one who loves you to fucking be consistent. Take that same energy that you're willing to expend on somebody who may have said something that you interpreted as a critique of your brother or your sister or somebody that you're a fan of. Take that same fucking energy and turn that shit towards America that you know has been antithetical to your interests, that has consistently denigrated you and yours, that have called you criminals, super predators, thoughts, hoes, welfare queens. The scum of the fucking earth, who malign your character on a daily basis, who tell you that you're less than human from the moment you wake up in the morning, breathe until the time you lay your head down at night. Keep that same energy for them. Because you're good at it. You're good at holding on to your humanity if you think that I'm the one that's denigrating your humanity. But you somehow lose the magic. When America at large says to you, you shouldn't be talking about the president like that. We should block you. I didn't give a fuck about Donald Trump. Yeah, Sister Sherry, we could talk about that. There was a tweet that I saw on Twitter that asked a question. And I'm going to see if I can find that tweet. And I want to thank y'all for listening to a brother. I'm sorry I don't have the calls available today. I wish I did. But I'm going to get that squared away. And if you know a way that I can do it, I don't care what the cost is or whatever of it. If you know a way I can do it and do it effectively, where people can get good quality calls, be able to call in and don't cost them nothing, hit me up, blackoutcastmedia@gmail.com, or join the Discord if you haven't done so already. Links is in multiple videos. I'm not going to pop a link up there, but hit me up. But the tweet was from our beloved sister Pandora. Is discernment lacking in the black community? Yay or nay? And tell me why. And I replied, nay. However, there are quite a few individuals who aren't as interested in discernment as they are in a false certainty. And I would like an opportunity to explain. I know, Sister Sherry, I know. I'd like an opportunity to explain what it is that I meant. Fam, discernment takes into account a multitude of things. It's partly what you know, partly what you think you know, right? Or what you perceive, and partly intuition. Information that you just kind of instinctively are aware of. Okay? And all of that combined gives you the ability to discern things. Do I believe that discernment is lacking in the black community, amongst black people? No. Not at all. I believe that we are very well capable of discerning. I don't think that discernment is what is lacking. What is lacking is the will to discern. And I think that that is an important key thing to note. What I think sometimes we lack is the will to want to understand the reality of our situations. Not that we can't understand. Black people are not idiots. We get things, right? We understand things sometimes on a level that blows the rest of America away. We'll see shit happen in the world on the news or something like that, and white folks will be like, "Oh my God, I wasn't even aware that." And we'll be sitting there staring at the TV, be like, "I could have told them motherfuckers, man. I saw that shit coming like 6 months ago." If you think black people lack discernment, you obviously haven't paid attention to brothers when it comes to the NBA. They could tell you about trades before they fucking happen. They can tell you who's up for free agency and who's likely to go to what team. Who's going to be picked in the draft? Nah, we don't lack discernment. Not at all. The problem is that sometimes we lack the will, the desire to discern. In other words, we prefer false certainty over actual certainty. And that is a problem, especially for the one group of people on this planet, in this country, who doesn't get do-overs. A lack of discernment in the wrong situation is the difference between you living, such as it is as black folk. Welcome, Tisha, to the broadcast, by the way. And welcome to Queen Jet Black. I see you, sis. And being amongst the living dead, right? Discernment could make the difference between you being alive and you being dead. We don't get do-overs. So we don't have the luxury of deciding what we choose to discern. We have to make the internal life in here, among this mass of neurons in our head, we have to make this internal life and reality out here as congruent as possible. I told you guys I'm not a praying man. As you well know, I'm not religious at all. However, there is a prayer that I really, really like a lot. I like the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Wisdom speaks to discernment, family. Break down the prayer. The things that I have no control over, I just need to accept. I need the peace of mind to understand that that's not my lane. I can't change any of that. Right? If an asteroid was about to hit planet Earth, what I look like running around scrambling like a chicken with his head cut off, I can't do anything about that except make my peace with it. Try to make preparations to see if I can survive or not. Right? So God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. And then you got to have courage. You got to have courage to make changes to shit. See, fam, people don't understand that courage isn't what you show when things are easy. When something's easy, you don't need courage for it, right? You need courage, bravery for when it gets hard. When the change is hard to fucking make. When it's hard to go out here and try to talk about justice to who it seems like a whole nation of heartless fucking savages. That takes courage, fam. Shout out to all my ADOS fam. Shout out to all my people who are advocates, agitators, big mouths, boots on the ground, resources deliverers, cooks, ministers, etc. Because each and every last one of you are some courageous motherfuckers. It takes courage to stand up in a country that remains and has been completely antithetical to your interests and speak to them the truth of the matters. damn it, I need wisdom. Thank you, Tisha. I appreciate you, sis. Sister Monty's in the house. Love you, sis. Welcome to the broadcast. I need wisdom. There's a reason why the end of that prayer finishes with wisdom. I need the capability to know when I'm properly expending my efforts or when I'm just spinning my wheels. I need wisdom to know what I can fix and what I can't. I need to be able to discern whether I'm walking the right path or I'm getting lost in the weeds. That prayer is such a simple but effective guide for way that humans live, that I, even as a person who doesn't believe in any gods or gods, I pray that prayer every day. It's the only prayer I believe in. I don't pray for shit else. I don't believe in prayer for anything else. God, fate, life, the universe, my internal animal, whatever it is, grant me the serenity to accept what I cannot change. Continue to give me the bravery to change the things I can. And damn it, if you don't do anything else, give me the wisdom so I can know the fucking difference. These false certainties will not save you. It doesn't matter how much you believe that you're right. If what you're thinking, what's in your head does not comport with what reality says, reality wins. Flawless victory. You need that discernment in order to know whether or not how you're operating is in line with the way that things are in truth, in reality. We have discernment. We use it for a multitude of various things. You use your discernment all the time. We don't lack discernment as a people. But a lot of the time what we lack is the will to utilize our discernment in areas that we're afraid to get the answers to. Which is why a lot of ADOS people find it really hard and difficult to talk to their family members about the economic data, about the political structures and issues that we face in this country. Because truthfully, they can see it if they want to see it. The question isn't, do our people lack or have the ability to discern the truth of what we're saying? They a lot of times lack the will. They don't want to though. They don't want to have the wisdom in this matter. They don't want to understand the reality of it. So I hope, Sister Sherry, that clarifies my answer. No, we don't lack discernment. But our addiction to false certainty, as opposed to our having a love affair with the truth, will continue to be the bane of our existence as a tribe. Fam, thank you all. Be as human to everybody else as they've been to you. That's all I ask. You've been doing it. You've been doing it with me. You've been doing it with your homeboys, your cousins, your sisters, your uncles, your brothers, right? You've been doing it with your people. You don't extend nothing extra to your people that they're not extending to you, and that's okay. Keep that same energy for the rest of this country. Keep that same energy for everybody else. Don't let them fucking tell you that you gotta send up thoughts and prayers to motherfuckers you know wish for your demise, who not only wish for your demise, but actually have the mechanisms, the hands on the levers of power to cause your demise. Why the fuck would I ever want anything good to happen for them? I want them gone. And that doesn't make me inhuman to feel that way. I love you, fam. Thank you so much for taking the time to share a little bit of your Saturday with your brother. I'm going to work on getting these call situations squared away as soon as I can, because I love to hear y'all's voice. This isn't even my channel. It don't have my name nowhere on it. This is for us. This is our forum. This is our platform. And y'all's voice is so important to every single thing that I do. So I got to get that online as soon as possible. But I love you, fam. Stay safe out there. Be as human to everybody else as they've been to you. No more, no less. When they go low, go lower. Because wherever you won't go, that's where your enemies will go. And they will defeat you from there. And until the next time I see you, fam, as always, I want to wish you all love, peace, prosperity, and power. Real power to our people.